Okay, looks like we're live. Right, and well, I haven't got any viewers just yet, so I'll start up Phantasy Star while we wait.
Yeah, I've got your splash page up at least, but yeah, it always takes half an hour or so. People do a drift in, doesn't it? Whilst that's happening, I'll just grab myself a quick drink.
Yep, no worries. Hello, Mixel. Welcome to the chat. Acidbottle is here, but he'll be back in a minute. How is the audio mix? Is the music too loud compared to the game? Actually, before I go any further, I'll talk a little bit about this. So, this is a... Oh, and Monoz has just joined the chat. So, Monoz is the...
chat.
Yep. Welcome back, Acidbottle.
Hello.
Now, Mixel says, music slightly too loud compared to your voice. Let's, Mixel's Lab says, actually, your voice seems to fade it when you're talking. It's been a while since I've messed with audio ducking, but in OBS, but maybe that's still set up. But I might oh. Sorry, I was just trying to remember the well, let's put that down to 10 or 5. I'm going to put that down to 5. Well, just trying to get it absolutely perfect.
Hey Mixels, I hope you're well. Hello Monzo. Monoz.
I've always said Mono-Z, but I don't know if it's Monoz.
Mono-Z.
Yeah.
That's the thing with tags.
Anyway, so I was talking a little bit about this earlier. So this is a port of Phantasy Star 2 from the Mega Drive / Genesis to Amiga. It's maybe the first, well, I'm pretty sure it is the first JRPG project done in Scorpion, and so it sort of pushed the engine in all sorts of interesting ways. It's one of those sorts of games where it's like if I saw a YouTube video of it, I wouldn't immediately assume it was Scorpion because it's so radically different to what most Scorpion games are like. But having said that, a lot of these things like text boxes, these were all sort of built in and been built in for quite a while for anticipation for this sort of game.
It looks fantastic. I've got to say, he's really done a good job on it. Hello, Flibble.
Hi, Flibble. Okay, so it's Monoz to be exact, not Mono-Z, so Monoz. So that portrait reminds me of the new Fantastic Four movie with Pedro Pascal.
It does.
So it kind of looks like him, but also he's in like a spacesuit.
The premise of this game was there was a big supercomputer that gone a bit haywire, wasn't it? Loosely speaking.
I'll admit I haven't played a lot of Phantasy Star 2. I did play maybe half of Phantasy Star 1. But that's a... I'm not really sure how closely the stories are connected.
I think to play 4 you have to play the first 2 at least. or at least to understand 4, you need to have played the first 2.
Oh, okay. Yep.
That's about all I know.
Oh, by the way, I wasn't manually making the person walk. That's all a scripted cutscene. The character being driven from one house to the other. So that's sort of an example of these things that you don't see often in Scorpion Engine, because there's not sort of built-in systems for that. That was or would have been done with manual logic. Monoz says, right now working on the new version, on the new super improved in terms of code version. Before the stream, Acidbottle and I were talking about, we make something and then we come back to it later, and then it's like we're not, we're frustrated by the state and quality of the code, but it's just because of, we're learning and we're not quite sure of the best way to do things, and so we just do it any way we can, and then later we find out we can, do it in a
It is a
way.
risk when you start many projects, isn't it? Where you come back to it later on and you just think, what was that? What logic have I used here? I mean, this is really, really good. He's polished this to perfection, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not even sure how the follow works.
No, it's like a train. You're right. It's
and yeah, it's like she'll follow to the square before where I am. She won't stop on top of me. That's the Joker. Okay, we don't need anyone cloned. Hello, Photon SCX. Welcome to the chat. Good to see you on stream. Now I have to find where you buy weapons. Okay. Oh, because I don't know any geography, I'm not allowed to leave the city. I'm not allowed to teleport.
I'm secretly hoping his next project is Snatcher.
It would be really cool to have a proper visual novel like Snatcher. I was working on an Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright demo at one stage.
I have to go back into playing that. The Chronicles, absolutely fantastic.
Okay, so I got some instructions. I had to buy 2 steel bars. So I'll buy a second steel bar. So, do. Mixel says Professor Layton would be cool too with the puzzly stuff. I haven't actually played Professor Layton. I might have to look into that.
There's actually a Layton and Phoenix Wright
crossover
game, but it's really hard to find.
I wonder why. Maybe it wasn't a success in the West.
I think that there's one of those things that are slow burners, aren't they? I think Layton was very popular in the West, but I'm not sure Ace Attorney was as popular as it was over in the likes of Japan and places.
Well, I really like the there was the Ace Attorney's Investigations. That was more of it was closer to being a point-and-click adventure, and I really like the first one, but it was basically a flop in the West, so they didn't port the sequel until years and years later.
Oh, there's loads of them now.
Yep.
They are fantastic games. Love to see a Mixels Lab visual novel.
Oh yeah, that he could scan the Creeping Me Out comic, scan the art from that to
that was epic. I seen that on Bill's show. That was excellent, absolutely excellent.
Yeah, Monoz says Ace Attorney demo helped a lot on Phantasy Star. The old one I did almost identical to the Mega Drive version, but was impossible on OCS.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so a little bit of context to that. So this is the OCS build. So I think this will run on a 1 meg A500. In fact, and this is running from a single ADF. But the in order to get it to work on that amount of memory, he had to change it so that, for example, virtually all of the user interface elements menus are controlled through the dialogue selection. So, for example, when I go when I push the menu button, so it comes up with this. So this menu for selecting, what weapons, armor, etc. you have is all driven through. It's basically the same as the dialogue system. Oh, I don't remember that. Can I go in there? Okay, oh, that's good. The previous version, it had pop-up menus on the screen like the Mega Drive original had. And that was all incredibly impressive, but it came with quite a high memory cost because it was basically all done with using actors rather than panels.
Noticing this pixelated transition when you go into like the combat, that's really cool. I like that.
Oh yeah, I wonder. I guess it must have been like an animation that like has it fully pixeled and then goes to not pixeled.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
Okay, so we can't go through this tunnel yet. Photon is asking if this is a Scorpion Engine game. Yes, this is a Scorpion Engine game. A very impressive one because it So Scorpion is designed for as a generic game creation tool, but at the same time, most of the effort is sort of gone into adding features for platform games, because that's sort of where the demand is. That's what people want to make with the engine. But Monoz has managed to create this turn-based RPG through pushing what the engine can do, through finding creative workarounds.
It is one of those games where you think, "Wow, is that done on Scorpion?"
Mm.
And you can't give it higher praise than that, to be fair.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, every now and then there's a game like that. I'll never forget waking up one morning and I saw a post from Indie Retro News saying there's this new demo for Street Fighter 2 for a Street Fighter 2 project, and I thought, oh, okay, well, that's quite interesting. And then, whoops! Oh no!
Oh
no! Well, that's something that happens in old school RPGs. If you're not careful enough, and if you're not lucky enough, then you're there's no save games. Yeah, if you're not careful enough, if you're not lucky enough, then it is game over.
Did you add a cheat mode into this, Monoz? I'm sure I read or seen somewhere that you might be able to.
I know there was in a previous version. I don't know if there is in this new A500 build. Monoz said that the old system where there were pop-up panels did actually work on the A500. It was just too much to maintain, which is fair enough, because Scorpion doesn't have a native pop-up panel system yet. It doesn't have a way of saying, spawn a panel in the middle of the screen. That's something that I do have planned. I just haven't yet implemented. I think it skipped the initial cutscene. Hello, Reva Bay. Welcome to chat. What happens if I buy? Okay, so I can buy 2 steel bars. Yep. Monoz did say that there are certain things that don't get reset when you die in game over. It's just something in this build that will need to be fixed in a later build.
You be doing any more Phantasy Star games, or even any other RPGs, JRPGs, like, I don't know, maybe Final Fantasy? No? That would be good.
Do a demake of Final Fantasy VII. Because since there's a remake, there should also be a demake. Mixel said, can we force Super Dan to finish that weird black and white CRPG he had going years ago? I think he's actually still working on that, but not in Scorpion Engine anymore, in Blitz Basic. Mono says, I was dreaming about a Mega version of Final Fantasy VII, but it's huge, and Square Enix would unalive me for sure.
We wouldn't tell them, Monoz. You're fine.
Yeah. I'm sure Square Enix never reads, isn't keeping a close eye on indie retro news. And just keep it a secret within the Amiga community. There we go, Captain Pedro Pascal again.
To be honest, I think the only company that really does clamp down on their IPs is Nintendo.
Yeah.
Sega are pretty loose. I think Square are pretty loose most of the time. Capcom, I heard, were a bit bad, but to be honest, I don't think they would bother either.
Yeah, Nintendo seems to be the worst of it.
I feel like lately.
I feel like Sega might be like the least bad because there are just so many Sonic fan projects, and like I believe that like I believe some of the people that worked on Sonic Mania were were originally fan game creators.
That's right. I think Sonic Mania was made by just bedroom content makers and stuff. So and then they employed them. So fair play.
Okay, I think that's everything. Monoz said about, I think if I go back into the renter home, then, which I'm not sure which one that is, but if I go back into his house, it's meant to bring up a cheat menu. Was it this one that was? There we go. Okay, cheats activated. IDDQD. Okay, so we've got cheats now. Oh, okay, so we can turn encounters off. I might just need to make sure to restore party after every battle. So I've equipped the steel bars. I should be good now. Whoops. Mono said I removed the speed sheet because the party train will go crazy. Fair enough. Okay, I better heal now, otherwise, even though I won that fight, I'm probably quite low on health. Oh, yeah, very low on health. Naya is nearly dead. Did that, I'm gonna go out and then I'll go back in. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so I need to find the second town. There we go.
This town.
Oh, got attacked as soon as it left the town. Monoz said he's having a lot of fun with ongoing development of the Phantasy set, especially with we had chatted a bit about how do we make it so that like those people that are moving around the town, how do we get it to stop them from walking onto the player? And the solution that Monoz has used apparently works quite well. So that's yeah, that's good to know. And it's oops, did I think I forgot to heal. I did forget to heal. Maybe I should run. Okay. Oh, that's all right. That's fortunate. I managed to get away from them. Okay, Monoz says the target of this game, part of the game, is to go over to the tunnel where the bandit is located, and to make it, you need to explore a lot. Okay, so I'm back in the original town. Was there anything more I needed to do here? Oh, good old floppy disk icon. Okay, well I might try the teleporter function. I think it was this one? Okay, well, I've been playing this for about half an hour. I want to see if I can get to the dungeon, wherever that was, and then I might call it quits for this one. Oh, hopefully, if I don't die here. See how we go. Hi, Dalidus. Welcome to the chat. Yes, this is Phantasy Star 2, and it is in Scorpion Engine. So it is it's a very impressive effort, especially considering that there's not a lot of features specifically for RPGs or adventure games built in. This is largely done with. Oops! Did I forget to heal? Looks like it did. Let's see if I can run.
How complete is this, Monoz? How far into it? How long have you got left to complete, approximately?
Okay, party. Is it a town or is it a dungeon? Oh, what do we got here? Yeah. Okay, so this is the first dungeon in the game. I'm actually not sure if I'm supposed to come here before we've got the third party member, but actually I'll just keep play. I'll play it until I die.
Your third version. Dedicated. Great job. Stick at it, bud.
Yeah, it's sometimes starting fresh can be a yeah, just sort of clear out the things that you're no longer happy with, and start with fresh, clean code base. But I mean, there's also disadvantages, and because a lot of effort goes into earlier versions, but also sometimes it's like you've got a solution for a quite a tricky thing, and sometimes recreating that from scratch can be a lot of effort. Oh, okay, so I guess Naya's dead. Rolf and party are destroyed. I love that word destroyed, because you see it in so many like in kids' cartoons where clearly the bad guy is saying such and such is going to die, but they use the word destroyed instead. Okay, well that was Phantasy Star 2 by Monoz. Thanks for sending through a copy to put on the stream.
Pretty good, Monoz. Congrats.
Okay, well, we're going to go into Acidbottle's Wonderboy now. And to start with, we've got we have a world exclusive first time Wonderboy for the Sega Mega Drive.
Hold on to your hats, folks. This is a bumpy one.
So, just a little bit of context. Even though Scorpion Engine supports Mega Drive, Neo Geo, those are still very different systems. So, a lot of work does need to go into, especially converting from Amiga to Mega Drive. A lot of work needs to go into making the visuals and logic run the same. But so this is first. We'll just say it's the first. Well, it's a start of the Mega Drive conversion.
Alpha 0.1.
Yeah. So there's no music. I wasn't sure if there was any sound or not. Maybe I've got it so Blasting is muted. Oh, okay.
No, there is no sound.
Sound.
Although now you can use the Mega Drive sound driver, can't you? So it might be easy to convert something.
Well, you've got a couple of options. So so there's a sound driver called MDSDRV, which has MML music. And how MML music differs from like tracker music is that it's written in a text file. It's basically like sheet music, but in like a text file notation. Right. So that's one option. I think the more popular option for Scorpion Engine is XGM sound driver, which is also the sound driver for the SGDK. So it was created for the SGDK project, but because it's open source, I was able to fortunately borrow it for Scorpion Engine.
Well, notice the camera here is a huge change. The UI is obviously more arcade-like, but it's the camera, the way it follows the player is so much better than, unfortunately, what the Amiga looks like at the moment. But I do want to change the Amiga version in the future.
Is that just because of the differences with the Mega Drive, or is it because you've like the logic is better now?
The logic is better now.
Oh, yep.
It just yeah, there's a word for it, and it's escaped me just now. But the way the camera follows it's just a lot smoother. In the Amiga version, when you jumped, whole level would kind of jump with you a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which wasn't ideal, but it's the best I could work with, because you got to remember the original Amiga version came out a while back before many improvements to Scorpion Engine.
Well, like even there's a fairly new feature called Camera Shake, which lets you sort of tweak the camera position without breaking the follow logic.
Yes, yep.
Um,
Is this we're going over to the Amiga version, I think now?
Yep. It takes a little bit to load because it's running from floppy disk. Also, I think so this would have predated the track disk feature,
yes, it did.
and the track disk loading is a lot faster. So just a little bit of
really
context
fast.
there. Scorpion originally never had any support for what we call like NDOS disk, or disks where you can't mount them directly in Workbench. The disks that are designed to be just booted, because all of the logic for loading the data is as part of the program. Thanks for the kind words, Monoz. I do need to say, Delidus 2097 is a legend in the Blitz Basic community. He's helped me many times with advice for Blitz Basic, which in turn Blitz Basic is the base of the Scorpion engine.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to revisit this Wonderboy and try and get it sped up a bit.
Yeah, well, I think just if it can run on track, if it can fit on one disk, it should be able to run on the track disk format. I don't know why it's got the blinking lights up at the top there.
No, that's a new one on me.
Yeah. Anyway, maybe that's something that comes right with newer version of Scorpion. I don't know, but yeah. Sorry, what I was saying before about so originally, if you made a game in Scorpion Engine for floppy disk, it had to run from the it had to run as like a Amiga DOS disk, Amiga DOS format. It would basically use the Amiga DOS to load the files, load the data, and that's not as fast as a track disk driver that loads the data directly, that loads the raw bytes. And so there was a track disk driver, another open source one written by PHX, who made Solid Gold. He's made a few, and Trap Runner, I think. He made a few really high quality assembly language games. But he's open sourced all that, and he's also helped me implement it in Scorpion Engine. So what that meant is that with newer versions of Scorpion Engine, you can use the track disk output, and that will export the game basically as raw bytes on the disk. So you can't open that sort of disk in Workbench, but what you can do is you can mount it, or you can boot it, and it will be a lot more memory efficient because it's not loading Amiga DOS in the background. as well as just loading times are a lot faster. Mxer says ADFs are handy for quick, easy emulation too. That's very true. In fact, when the Amiga Mini came out, Amiga 500 Mini, to start with, all you could play was WHD load games, and it wasn't quite turnkey. You sort of had to have like a custom XML file with information about the slave in order to run it. But since they added, I think it was in like their 1.1 update, since they added the ability to mount ADFs, that's made it a whole lot easier for Scorpion Engine, because you could just mount the ADF and then it will run it.
A lot of the backgrounds, Alex, were custom ripped. Some of the levels don't exist. There was a website which had a lot of Wonderboy information on, and it had a lot of the maps, but it did not have them all. So I actually had to play the arcade game and just construct them from scratch.
So did you have to take a whole lot of screenshots?
Yeah, and stitch them together. It was actually Flibble suggested doing this on Tiger Heli a long time ago. But yeah, it's a case of you just run along for a little bit.
Yep.
Take a screenshot and then go along the whole level doing it that way.
Incredible.
But obviously there's some places you had to fill in the blanks as well.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a nightmare, I'm not going to lie, but it was also fun.
Mm.
The sprites, they were easily available. So no magic there. The sprites were online. I grabbed those and just recolored them a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, I think I was working on a port of Gunsmoke, and I think to start with I was screenshotting the arcade map, but then MAME has oops, what's going on here? Oh, am I starting from the second level? Oh, because I did continue, I think.
Yeah, you continue from
all
the
right.
level.
Yep.
At the start of the level you died on, and there's infinite continues. So.
Okay. Oh, that's good, because otherwise,
no one would ever beat it.
Yeah.
I did see an online video. It was amazing. Somebody did it on One Life. I could not believe my eyes.
What, this version or the arcade?
No, the Amiga version.
Oh wow.
I was so impressed.
I take it that's something that you've never been able to do.
No, can't even do that myself. So,
it's always mind blowing when you see someone, play a game better than you've ever been able to do.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe my eyes.
Whoops.
It's a game of momentum. When you've got momentum, you glide through the levels pretty easily, but as soon as you die or
it's sort of
momentum, it's really hard to get it back again.
Yeah. Well, I guess a lot of those arcade games sort of were like that, like especially shooters. Like you die, you lose all of your guns.
And Nemesis, Salamander, all those sorts of games really relied on you getting all the power-ups, and if you lose them, well, that's it. It's another credit. Start again.
Yeah.
So you can belt through now with a fairy that gives you invincibility for a short while.
One thing that's always confused me about Wonderboy is the sequels, the naming and numbering and...
Oh, it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know how many Wonderboy 3s there are. So I'm like...
I did read reasons for it. Obviously, Escape, the original developers left Sega, did Adventure Island, which is the game people mostly remember. And there's loads of versions of Adventure Island out there. 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, because there's sort of like two threads with the sequel. So there was like the Adventure Island sort of thing, where it was this sort of you know, like where you're going through jungles and islands, and then there's like the RPG thread where Wonderboy 2 or Wonderboy and Monsterland, and then the Dragon's Trap, Monster World.
Dragon's Trap. Yeah, it's like they all went strange, didn't they? I'm not sure I followed the logic with it all. I know the second game was an arcade machine, but it played more like an RPG. It was quite strange, like a action RPG. And that's the one you actually did a remake on, isn't it? You sort of remastered it for the Amiga, which was really good.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So
the things you do here, Rock.
Yeah,
that people don't know about.
So yeah, I got a long history of you know, when I started doing things for Amiga, I wasn't even programming. I was just taking old games and then changing the graphics a bit, or you know, hacking the assembly just a little bit.
I think you sped up the second one immeasurably. It's so much smoother.
What did I do?
I think it changed the graphics as well a little bit on the side panels. I don't remember all the changes, but yeah, it was a much better version. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And there were some weird things I added, like the ability to look down.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe the project I'm most proud of that was a hack was there's a game called Total Carnage, which was.
I think I've seen this one.
So that was the sequel to Smash TV, and Amiga it was really bad. And in fact, my version doesn't improve it, you know, that much. It does improve it a little bit. One thing I did was I made it so that if you game over, you continue where you left off. But yeah, there were so many weird little bugs with the original game that I was able to solve one way or another. Like there was one where there was like a death animation for one of the enemies, but the death animation would be weirdly offset. Like, you know, so you would shoot the character and then like it would appear 50 pixels later, or 50 pixels to the side, and when it's dying, it just all looked really weird. But yeah, I think that was maybe the last major hack project I did before I decided, instead of doing these hack projects, I probably, you know, actually start making games.
Yeah, we haven't seen many completed games from you on the Scorpion engine, Rock.
Yeah, that's
maybe
true.
one day.
I mean, some of the games I've done have just been ports of what other people have done. Like the last one I've released was Star Wars Holiday. Star Wars Holiday Special for Amiga, AGA, but that wasn't me. That was Master Linklaway did that as a Mega Drive game. I only did the Amiga port. And in fact, I've got a handful of projects lined up. I'm just waiting for the Mega Drive version to be finished and released, and then I'll tackle the Amiga port or the Neo Geo port. Actually, a game I think about every now and then was one of the first major hack projects I did was Gianna Sisters. So we did a hack of that, me and, it was actually John Chakaris that did most of the work converting the Nintendo DS graphics, as well as, like, he also created a whole bunch of, like, his own custom art. But basically we replaced every single tile, every single enemy sprite in that game. And yeah, just recently been thinking, wouldn't it be cool if, you know, in Scorpion Engine or whatever, someone actually did a full port of the Nintendo DS version.
I don't know you did that either. I'll have to look out for that one.
It's just called, I think, Giant Sisters DX.
Oh, it was a fantastic game. It really was. Even if it bared a striking resemblance to some other...
some obscure Japanese platformer.
Yeah, something no one's ever heard of. Oh, did you miss the axe? Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, well, I might leave that one here for now, and then we'll sort of get into our workshop. We're going to, instead of picking up the thread on the version of Frogger I was developing last week, I am going to use your version of Frogger. I'm going to open that up and then maybe make a few tweaks to see if we can get the water working.
That would be awesome. Good luck. I did have a few ideas. I probably haven't tried all the ideas, but as always, come up with better, more streamlined ideas than I have, because, to be fair.
Right. Oh, I'll be just 30 seconds. I just need to get some water.
No problem. Twisted Dreams, was that the Giant Sisters remake, Mixel? Yeah, I have got that on my Steam library, I'm sure. Brutally hard. Really good game. Obviously, like many games, I never finished it.
Okay, let's get into the Frogger project.
What I like about this so far is it runs on OCS. I think after some suggestions you said about doing a copper background, copper background.
Oh, that's I think it was actually Flibble that came up with that idea. So do we actually have a
It was genius because it's made the game really fast on OCS systems. Whereas before I was struggling even on like 2 meg chip.
Okay, so I'm just going to run this. Just going to run it as it is before we make any changes. So a little bit of context here. Acidbottle has donated this project to the Scorpion Engine unofficial demos pack, but we want to make a one or two tweaks before we before we decided we're finished with it, and then before we open source it so that anyone can do anything they want with it.
It's close. Let's get in there.
So yeah, everything just sort of works as expected. There's a lot going on here, so that's it's quite impressive that there's so many actors and they're all animated and moving. But there are some things we need to fix here. It's obviously not meant to die when
no,
when we
that
run
section
into the turtle.
Where the turtles and logs are is just a complete shambles.
Right. But I think before we dig into that, we'll go over the some of the optimizations. So if we go into our map, so let's go to Frog Map 1. Actually, it's transparent. What we should do is, oops, no, I'll leave. Okay. Sorry, I was just trying to. We should be able to take out this. And we shouldn't need the water as well because that is where is that on?
The copper? Oh, it is box.
Yeah. So we'll clear out some of this like if it's not a textured part of the background, doesn't need a tile, or shouldn't need a tile. We'll make sure it still looks good because we've got the this copper, so it will be black for the road and then blue for the sea, or the river, that should be. So just make sure that still looks good.
Why does Frogger drown in the water?
Yeah, that is a good question.
I just don't know.
Oh, I think I know the answer. It's because this is a Scorpion engine game, and you've heard of the frog and the scorpion.
Ah, there you go.
The the scorpion says to the frog, can you help me across? I promise I won't sting you, and then it stings it anyway, so the frog dies. Yeah. Okay, so now I can walk on it. In fact, it looks like I can walk pretty much anywhere without
almost anywhere.
Yeah, almost anywhere without it dying. Oh, maybe that was what the blocks were for. They were like that. They were what kills the
activates code block, maybe.
Have I got okay? So I've got a water block.
I can't remember.
Okay, solid block, water block, and we've got it on melee. Okay, it has a melee hit. Okay, so I think one thing I'll do is I'll get rid of the water blocks. I will add some sort of other logic, either like an event zone, or or something like that. Actually,
yeah, I was thinking event zones. I think that was my original thought, but didn't implement it quite right.
Okay, all right. I think I've got some ideas. What's that? Okay, yep, all right.
Yeah, the two events on the side, obviously, if you go off screen in the arcade, you eventually die, but not immediately going off screen. It takes a second.
Oh, yeah, so that bit is basically invisible to the
yeah, exactly.
It's okay.
Off the playfield, so to speak.
Well, now what's Frog Map 2? Is that a second level, or is that an alternative?
It was to be a second level.
But it doesn't do anything at the moment. I guess it just sort of. So we won't touch that one. We'll just leave that one as it is.
Yeah.
So
things like crocodiles and that. I think something like that.
Might is that going to let me delete it? Yep. Okay. So since we're not using that anymore, we'll just we won't have that in there. So one thing I mentioned to Acidbottle earlier is so we have control tile base, which is that's a good movement type for games like Pac-Man and because Acidbottle's used it in fast food, so it's perfect for that sort of game. The problem is Frogger is not technically tile-based movement because even though like you sort of move by 16 pixels a hop, when you get to the water, you're sort of being dragged on a pixel perfect basis, and so you're no longer aligned with the no longer perfectly grid aligned. You're being dragged by however many pixels a second. So we're going to change this to I'm going to change this to none. It's still tagged as a player. We don't need camera follower because it's there's no scrolling. We don't have any custom logic, so we'll need to add some custom logic. And I'll call this player handler.
Roblox 2 has been a huge hit, hasn't it? I haven't tried it out myself yet.
It has been I think it has been pretty well received, but not that many people using it just yet. I'll just switch to Visual Studio Code. And then, see, where did I put my? Oh, I did put that in there. Okay, so if I go, I should just open the code folder rather than the whole project because I only need the code. And we'll get rid of AI because I don't think AI is going to be very helpful with Scorpion Engine at the moment. Right, so we want. So if we're doing manual movement, we will need to track how many frames we well, if we're currently moving and how many frames, also what direction we're moving in. So now I noticed that you had the player speed set at 2.5. Do you think it would be a problem if the speed was set at 2 or set at 3?
See how it goes.
Yep. I think if I set it at 2, that means it's a it's an even division of it is an even division of 16. So 16 divided by 2, speed of 2 means 8 frames to move one tile. So if I go variable word, can't even be. No, I'll go word variable word hop frames. And then go if hop frames. Oh, now I need to declare it as a value, so I've set it as 0 by default. If hop frames is greater than 0, then go actor or player position is player X plus Y equals player Y plus player Y speed. End. else hop frames -1. Oh no, that should be there. Hop frames -1. So if we're not hopping, then we want to make the player move. So I'll say if hop frames is 0, we'll go player x speed equals 0. Player. Oh no, that should be set. And then we need to have a condition here, which is like if control x is different to 0, or else if control y is different to 0. We'll go set hop frames equals 8, and then set player x speed equals control. Oh no, sorry, it should be control 1x because player 1's control. So control 1x times 2, removing the speed of 2. Set player. Oh, we don't need to actually. I'll tidy this up just a little bit. So I'll just grab that, put that there. And I will do the same here, except I will reverse that. And now so that's a very simple controller, or manual controller. So instead of using Scorpion Engine's built-in controller, it does that. So let's see what happens if we do that.
Yeah, studying the frog's move in the arcade version, it lurches forward, but once it's taken a leap, you can't move it. I think that was kind of a big thing with the Frogger game. You were committed.
So let's just... Okay, so it's not doing anything. I think for one thing I forgot to hook up that handler. So let's connect that handler.
Good point. That's just an on-timer event. Make it.
Yep. Yeah, so if you're sort of new to Scorpion Engine, a lot of custom logic is driven through timers. So every actor has a timer that's just like a... it's like an alarm that goes off however many frames, usually every single frame, and every time that happens you can run some custom logic. So yeah, for virtually any Scorpion Engine game, that's kind of the secret sauce that allows that is the secret sauce that allows for games to have very custom handling. One difficulty I'm having with the code blocks too is that I keep thinking of conventions for other programming languages. These are conventions that I need to put into Scorpion at some stage. Like I should be able to just go hop frames -1 to say subtract from that, or even hop frames minus to say subtract 1 from that value, because that's what other programming languages will let you do. Scorpion doesn't yet at the moment because of the grammar of the language is a certain way. But maybe in the future I'll come back to it and see if I can make it just a little bit more friendly with some of those shortcuts that are in other languages. Okay, so we can move left and right. That's fine. Up and down doesn't seem to be working. I'll come back to that in a sec. Oh, right. What did I do? Okay, so that's it there. I need to set that. One other possible issue is that, of course, it's not letting me out of the screen. Oh, in fact, no, I can fix that if I Oh no, that's actually fine. That is what the logic is. So it snaps to the screen. If I try to leave it,
Oh, sorry, it does. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it snaps to the screen
Yep.
until you get to the water area. Then you fade off the
Yep.
screen. It's kind of
Yep. Of course, it wasn't supposed to be able to go
should go
backwards
from
out
screen
of the
downwards,
screen.
but never mind.
But we can add some logic to check that to prevent us from doing that. Now, what happens if I? Okay, so you see it will write it now.
That's better.
Yep. So that's a start. I don't know what the Y position is at the start there, but I'll just really quickly. This is just going to cheat. I'm just going to go quit. No, because I need to load it into another variable. So if I go hop frames equals player Y, and then if I go quit player position is hop frames. So that should quit with a message saying what the starting position of the frog is, and so I can get that exact value, and then I can feed it into our custom code blocks. Oh, and the other question I've got is there like a left and right, up and down animation, or is it all? Oh no, we do have.
It goes left and right animations.
Do we have a hop? In fact, I should be playing that hop.
To be fair, I think auto flip might have been better for this as well.
216. Okay, so I just wanted to print that error message. So so now that I know what it's at 216, so I can go if in fact I'm gonna make this completely separate line. So I'm gonna say if greater than that and player Y is. Oh, what was that number? Was it 218? I should have been paying attention to it.
Yeah, me too, and I didn't.
Oh, now it's not so I got rid of that message. Player position is hot frame. Okay, I'll have to make sure to make a note of it.
Your eyes peeled.
Yep.
Flibble was paying attention. And internet points to you.
I thought we said 256 minus 32. I'm not sure it's that exact value, but it might be. We'll see. $216. Actually, is that?
All right.
256 minus 32.
It's not central.
Very close. 216. Control 1 player Y is less than 216. And then player Y speed will be 2. Oh, now that has to be greater than 0. And we want less than 0. So we're going up. It's not the most elegant code, but we're sort of hacking it together very quickly. And for consistent, yeah. And I suppose the other thing is this is meant to be for a pack, for a demo pack. So readability is probably more important than reducing the number of lines to the absolute bare minimum. But we also need to set the animations. Now, so I think we'll do a tidy up of these animations. Which one is set as the default? It should be idle up, I guess. Oh, actually, I'm going to unset all of these. In fact, I'm going to turn off all the directions. Since we're doing all of our
diagonals, yeah.
No, yeah, that's right. But we also, since we're doing this sort of manually, since we're doing all the logic for the control manually, we don't really need anything other than a default direction. So I'll tidy up some of these. Actually, no, if I just go to these, because this idea I had was if we duplicate that frame, if we duplicate the idle frame, don't I have a copy frame? So if I duplicate that and then I set it to infinite, what it's going to do is if I say play this one, it will do the hop, and then it will stick on that one until I move to the next the next direction. And yeah, I guess we could make it so that these are auto flip, but we don't.
Yeah.
We don't really need to. Or? It doesn't actually save any memory. Because on Amiga, like, unless you're doing fancy things with the blitter and lookup tables, which I'm not doing in Scorpion Engine at the moment, you don't really save anything by having. Oh, I duplicated the wrong frame, I think. But even on the other platforms like, whoops, no, I messed that one up. That should be that one. Mm-hmm. Even on the other platforms like Mega Drive, which does have tile flipping, it will work it out automatically whether using auto flip or not. So auto flip is really just there to make the logic a little bit easier. Well, it make it a little bit more maintainable if you've got lots and lots of left and right animations, but because we've only really got one of each, it doesn't matter too much.
Okay.
So we've got up, down, left, and right. We need to set the animation. So we'll go player animation, player 1, move up. Oh wait, no, that's left. Okay, this one's move up, move down. I just check. It's always a good idea to, like, if you're using this code blocks to manually edit in text, it's a good idea to see what it actually says in the. Like, so this one, it's given me an error, and that was because it's not moved down, it's moved DN. So I forgot about that. Oh, forgot to delete the my quick and dirty error message to get the player's Y position. Oh, now that's weird. Why seems to that is weird. What did I do wrong there? So it's working fine for left and right, down. That's all fine, but when I go up, it seems to freeze for a second. What did I do wrong there? Well, let me check my logic. Is there some custom? There might be some custom code in here. Trigger frog jump scores. It is doing a melee event. What on earth have I done wrong? I'm going to increase the Amiga size so that the boot up is faster.
Absolutely the right call.
Because it was working fine just before. It wasn't.
Is there 3 frames of animation on the left and right, and two frames of animation left and right, or 3 in the up?
It's not. What? What is it? Frog jump scores. Is there something here that's? Oh,
it is adding a point every time you move upwards.
Yeah, so we've got this yield here. So it's saying wait for 10 frames before.
Yeah.
So it looks like it increases the score the further up you go.
That is correct, yeah. You don't get a score when you go down the map. You do go up by 10 points, whatever it is, every time you go upwards.
But that looks like it can be abused because you could like go up and down.
Go down and up, yeah.
Yeah. So what? I think I might get rid of this code block.
Go for it.
And then it's probably a couple of places where we need... Actually, I might get rid of these... No, I'll circle back around. I might get rid of these melee boxes. I might implement the water in a way that... doesn't... it doesn't use melee boxes, maybe?
Better, isn't it?
Yep. Okay, now that's looking good. Alright, so... we do want to have that score back in, so that score increase. So we'll add it in a way where you can't cheat.
Yeah, so, cheaters never win.
Yeah. So we go very... best player position. In fact, I'm going to need to add a player spawner as well. And I'll go set best player position equals 216. I better put that in before I forget. So I'll go player spawn. And then I can just go... So if we're not hopping, I can say if player Y is less than best player position. End. Go best player... that should be set. Set best player position equals player Y. And then I'll go set score equals score plus 10. So that would basically says if I'm higher up the screen than I've ever been before, then increase the score by 10.
I got you.
I'll just check that works. So I've got a score of 0. Yep. And it doesn't give me the score until I've finished the hop. Now I'll just check that the dragging... Okay, dragging is almost okay. The one problem is it starts to drag before I've actually reached the thing.
Slightly, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So it shouldn't be dragging when I'm in the midair, but that's something we should be able to fix easy enough. So, if we go to our log, we should have some custom collision code. Okay, so we've got log turtle ride. Okay, so it looks like it's the same code for the log and the log and the frogs, or so turtles. Turtles is what I mean. It's the same code for the turtles and the logs. Log turtle ride. Let's have a look. Okay, so that's fairly straightforward. I'm going to upgrade that to code blocks 2. So if I go back into here, I should see it. Log turtle ride. Yeah, that's very, very straightforward. Easy to follow logic. We're just going to add a condition, which is just if hop frames equals 0. That should be double equals because we're doing comparison. Yep. Okay, so if we're not hopping, then it will drag the player. Or at least that's the hope. I don't know if it's actually going to do that or not. Now that's weird. It did it the first time. So if I... Maybe not all of them do it? I'll have to check that out. But it other... Whoops. I must still have a death... no, I got rid of the water blocks. What? Oh! Must have been my time run out, because I was spending too much time hopping around. Okay, so... Okay, so it looks like we actors switch between each other. So on melee by player, turtle safe check. While melee tag is true. Oh. Not sure that this code is going to work.
Irrelevant code, yeah. I'm pretty sure it needed deleting, maybe.
Yep. That's right. Well, I'll get rid of this melee code. So instead of using the melee system, I'll see if I can just use a regular collision system to handle it. If I try to compile now, it's probably going to give me a few places where I need to delete that. Yep. So turtle surface. I need to delete these melee attacks. So just a bit of context for people that are watching. This Scorpion Engine has this melee attack system where it's primarily for like fighting games to check if an arbitrary box overlaps a collider or another arbitrary box. We won't use it for this demo. It's probably... Oh, we don't... Looks like we don't have the melee attack on the logs anyway, which is fine.
Not even sure 4, 5, and 6 are even used.
Yep.
By any actor.
Right. Whoops. Do that very well.
Definitely feeling the Frogger vibe of this now. So much better. All right, just
it's getting there.
But it's definitely close.
Yeah, so we just need okay, so I'm going to do this the hacky way again. I need to work out where the water position exactly is. So if I go I'm going to go F control 1 fire, and then I'll do the same thing where I go set hop frames equals fire Y, because I need to extract that variable into a, like, because that's sort of a dynamic variable. I need to extract it into a regular variable in order to use it in strings. I can then go quit player Y is hop frames. Whoops, control 1 fire. What should that actually be? I thought that was the variable. Oh, okay. For some reason or another, I don't have a underscore with that one. Okay, so if I'm here, let's push. Okay, so 104. Oh, that's weird alignment, but so 104 is where the water is. So I'm just going to go. So if we're not hopping, player Y is less than or equals 104. I'm just make a note we're in the water. You had a code block for killing the player when it's in the water. Is it player something die? Frog death water. Oh, yep, and you've got a you've got is safe there. I think we will reuse that as safe variable. So if it's in the water, we go to frog. Oh, now I didn't realize this about the plugin. It actually lists the other code blocks. I didn't know it had that level of intelligence. Yeah, that's really cool.
That's pretty neat.
So yeah, so this plugin for Visual Studio Code was by Dockster, and it came out pretty much the same time as CodeBlocks 2. So that helps a lot with make the syntax and highlighting, making things easier to read and see. I'll just check that that actually works. Well, that works so far as actually killing the player. That's all I want to test at this point, not whether they're actually on the log or not. So Flibble mentioned 2-bit plane color mode, and I can see how that would improve performance. How I believe that works is that basically use the copper for every stretch, because there's only like 4 colors at most. Oh, now that's weird. It didn't. Frog didn't die. Frog became stuck, but didn't die. So I must have done. Yeah, so Frog gets stuck. I'll need to check out why that is. Yeah, so what Flibble was saying is about 2-bit plane mode, so that's 4 colors. So we actually could have this as a 4-color game by using the copper to fill in the colors for each of those strips of road. Let's have it. Okay, so there's a yield here. Okay, so yeah, the long and short of it is that while that's running, the player timer is going to continue to run. So I'm going to change that to be, instead of yield on level, I'm going to put that on the player's timer. So I'm going to say player yield for 80 frames. And that should hopefully make the death animation just play. Whoops. Ran straight into the car. Wasn't looking both ways. No, that's still... What have I done wrong? So I've done frog death water.
Once you land on the turtles, you're getting wedged. You can't move up nor down anymore.
Yeah, so it's like oh, now what is Froggy did?
I think so, you're right. Somebody knows what they're doing, it makes it look easy.
I suppose since I invented the syntax, it gives me a bit of an unfair advantage with using CodeBlocks too.
Second nature.
Yeah. Okay. So what I don't understand is, so this code here, Player-wise, less than 104. Go to frog death water. Oh, maybe. Okay, maybe this is actually not. I'm gonna put this back to. Yeah, I think I know what the problem is. I'll put that back to the level timer. Because this safe, I wasn't actually doing anything with that variable, so I'm gonna go assume we're not safe by default. So I'm gonna go set is safe equals false. So if I run that now, hopefully it will. Because all I'm trying to achieve at this point is that the frog dies in the water, even if the frog is overlapping with the log or the turtles. Yep, that's what I expected. So now that we've got that is safe variable, what we can do is we can add that to the now that we're using is safe. That was actually already in the system. And I'm gonna go and is safe equals false. What I'm going to do here, and this is a bit of a hack, I'm just going to go set is safe is true, even if we're still in the middle of a hop. So every single frame, it's going to check if there's an overlap, if there's a collision, it's going to set the frog is safe. And then, when the frog does its check, it's going to set is safe back to false. And so by the time this code runs again, it would have run the log code and then updated that. Hopefully that works. It's not the most elegant way of doing it, but it is a very simple way, so I'm hoping it will just work without any noticeable issues.
Not elegant, but if it works, it works.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of Scorpion sometimes, is that there's just so many ways to do something.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just the way that just makes something work.
Yep. Okay, well that seems I'm not sure if that was quite as expected, because I, sort of hopping towards the end of the log. I'm not sure if there's like a cutoff where whoops. Oh, that's weird. I've got two frogs. And they're independently controllable.
It's Frogger the Phantasy Star Edition. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's oh, now that it might be to do with those log collision boxes. I'm assuming those logs that are in the game are all the like one big actor. So 14, 24, and 17. So what are those ones? So 7, 8, 9. I think you said earlier it was only 7, 8, and 9 that are being used.
I think so, yeah. I'm not sure that any of the others are being used. You could probably double check that on the actress tabs. But
in fact, if I go delete it, well, okay, frog map 2.
All right, that's where they are. I don't know why.
Okay. Well, I think you said this was going to be, like, the intention was this is going to be a second level, but I can just leave in, I can just sort of leave it as a shell that, people can fill in later if they want. Right, let's see if I can get. Yep.
Effectively, every game map is going to be the same. It's just a slight difference of enemies that pop up. So
okay, well, let's have a look at our collision box. So collision box is quite a bit out. Actually, is the player's collision box isn't out. So let's let's just make the collision boxes line up. That might be actually a little bit too big now, but hopefully that will work. So what is the deal with the turtles? Like, it looked like there was one that was always going up and down, and then others just stay up constantly?
Yeah, I think the turtles, there's obviously some that are just safe all the time.
Yep.
They just drift along. And some are in dive mode, and when they hit that bottom animation,
yep, then you're
your
dead.
frog is done.
Yep. So let's try to hop off this log. Oh yeah, so that's what I was saying about it's just a little bit too big now. Yeah, I'll take out the I mean, it probably should be a little bit smaller than this, but at least that oh, and maybe I should make the collision box for the frog smaller as well.
Yeah, that works. This needs to be around the frog, really. I think I've put it around the whole 16 by 16 block.
So since it's pixel perfect, we shouldn't get a situation where it's the frog is not overlapping it at all. It's close enough that if like the frog's foot is on the edge, it will be safe, which I think is all right. I don't know how the arcade machine works.
I think it hangs over a tiny amount, maybe a leg or something. I'd have to watch a video to double check that.
But yeah, I think that's all right. We'll probably want the. I'll check the turtles. That one will need to be. That box will need to be aligned. Yeah, I'll just make it that. We don't actually need a collision box for when they're under the water, but might as well line it up to be safe. So if let me just try to jump on the frog that goes under the water. Monoz says no elegant is my typical solution until I understand how it works. So that's completely fair. And quite often there is multiple solutions that are as good as each other, or like the optimal solution is only a little bit better, so it's not even really worth the extra effort. I think it's going all right. Oh, I'm just about to run out of time. Now I'll jump onto that frog that has the turtle that has the yep, so that died pretty much straight away. Wonder if there's actually enough time to get on and off before
I don't know. I think maybe those animations are a bit too fast looking at it. It probably goes a bit slower on the arcade. Diving animation, that is.
And I think let me just check.
I'm watching a video. They are pretty speedy.
Yep. Oh, but do they go like completely invisible for a while? Because I'm wondering if like you're meant to be able to hop on this one.
Yes, but then do. I think there's a frame or two where they just vanish. Didn't even spot that before.
Yeah. Okay. So what can we do about that? So we've got Okay. So you so I guess you've got so it's controlled by these Is it controlled by these animations? I thought. Just wondering what is actually driving that logic. Is it the animation system or is it code blocks? So it looks like this one here is the only one that's set to go up and down. Okay, so Turtle Under 3 is the name of the actor. So Turtle Under 3. Oh, yeah, because there's 3 of them.
I think on the second level of turtles, there is a 2 turtled diver, and I don't think I've implemented that in this yet. That's an oversight.
Okay, all right. So I was just meditating on what we could do here. So it looks like so it goes under, but then it immediately pops back up to the full blown. So what I will do is I am going to copy that frame. So we've got goes down, and then we want a invisible one for. I insert a blank frame for 10 frames. So I'll just see how that looks. So that should be up, and then it starts to go down, and then it's down, and then and this one we also need a copy of as well. So it's not actually underwater for that long. It's mostly transitioning in and out. I'll just see what that looks like as far as the actual as far as the game goes. Well, now the reason why it's playing up like that is because we have the render mode set as maskless. But that doesn't really make sense here because so maskless basically means it doesn't use a blitter mask. So it doesn't try to merge with the background. It just overwrites whatever's on the background. The problem is we can't really use that with a blank frame. So what I will do is I will open this image in Paintshop Pro. And then I just want to add a so let's delete that. So we've got so I want an invisible frame that's the same size as everything else. I'll call this what am I going to call this? Turtle underwater. So that's just a blank image, and it's so I will use that. Where is it? Turtle underwater. There we go. So let's put that there. Let's get rid of that. And then I'll go back to here and on collide with player, I'm going to use that same log turtle ride. So I should be able to ride those turtles that go under the water. Oops. That's something I hadn't thought of. Okay, so I've got a sanity check to make sure that every image has pixels in it, but it doesn't make sense if it's, maskless. So what I will do is a quick and dirty workaround is I will get the color of the water and then put the color of the water in there. Oops. So if I take that and then I put that like that, that should work. Because the only reason we need that frame is to delete the pixels, to overwrite the pixels for when it's above water. Yeah, there's some glitchiness with it, but it works. I'll just check that I can actually write it, and that's what I expected. I can write it, but of course the problem is I need it to kill me if if I'm still on it when it's underwater. Actually, I think I haven't got the alignment right. Yeah, because this is way off, so that should be the same as the other one, so 47 by 8. So since it's aligned with the other ones, it should now cover up those pixels completely when it goes underwater. Okay, so that's looking a lot better. So if I jump on that, that's as I expect. I haven't got any logic for for killing the frog when the turtle goes underwater. I think we'll add that as the last bit, and then probably in the stream. So streaming 2 hours. It's probably very late for Acidbottle.
Good. A lot of progress there, mate. I think.
Absolutely. So with so some context for if you're new to Scorpion Engine, every actor has a few variables that adjust for that specific actor. So, for example, if you've got a lot of enemies and they all have health, you don't want to have like a lot of health variables. You just have a variable for each actor that that you can use for health, and that. So that's the actor var. So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna use actor var one. In fact, I'm gonna use an alias for it. I'm gonna go alias is under what or alias is underwater equals actor var one. So that's just the way of saying when I use actor var or when I use is underwater, what I really mean is actor var one, and then I can go if is underwater equals false. So that that basically says if we're not underwater, then it's safe. Otherwise, if we are underwater, then we don't set it to safe. And then we can go to our animation system, and we can add an event, and we can set a variable. I'm hoping that's going to work for aliases. Yep, so we've got is underwater. I'm going to say true. So it is underwater on that frame. And then after that, we need to set it back to false. So I'm going to go set variable. And our variable is underwater. False. So that should be true. Sets it to true. Sets it to false.
Good night, Dalas.
Good night, and thanks for coming along. Well, I'll just test this, and if this works, then I'll look for someone to raid. So this project is going to go in the unofficial Scorpion Engine demos repository. It might have a few more changes. We might add the the more efficient 2-color or 4-color images from oh, is that playing up again? That is weird. It was working fine just before. I don't know what I've done.
No, it's vanished entirely.
I have no idea. The alignment is fine. It's all set as maskless. Let me try that again. There's nothing here that I've changed that would break it that I can see. We're not using var1 for anything else that I know. Oh, we are using var1 for something. Okay, so Yeah, I'm not sure what we're using var1 for, but it's messing up. It's messing up something because we're overwriting that.
So I put that in. I don't know why.
Yep. So fortunately, because we're using this as an alias, we can just change that to var2. Yeah, I'm not actually sure what
It was going back to at the start of the show when we were talking about going back to old code.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I don't think this does anything now, but because it's set to a value, I think it's because it's set to a value, it's confusing it at the start there.
There we go.
Okay, so let's see if I jump on it. Looks okay. Died. Perfect. Okay. Oh, now, actually, I'm just going to see. I don't know if anything happens if we get to the end.
It should do.
Oh. No. Badly timed that. Oh, because you had those map events for the ending bit. Oh, yep.
Sure it should.
Oh. Okay, so
there you go.
So there was a little bug there where it was still moving.
Still moving when you actually got the
so I need to set hop frames equals 0 on our spawn, and so that means that when the frog is spawned, it does not it doesn't continue moving from the previous frog. If we had used an alias for it, then well, for one of the active vars, then it wouldn't have had that problem. Just going to see if I can hop over that. Whoop. Okay, that was very lucky. Okay, so let's just see if I grab that. Perfect. Oh, no, it was still moving. Did I set hop frames?
It might be. I'm only guessing, but it might be if you respawn after successfully getting it, it's spawning in the wrong point.
Is it actually spawning the frog, or is it just repositioning it? It might actually be repositioning it. Let's have a look at our frog one safe. Yes. Okay. So, spawn player frog, but it's not destroying the old frog. Oh wait. No, it is. Okay, it is destroying the player. And then it's supposed to spawn a new one.
And repositioning. Maybe not in the right spot.
No, 216 is the right spot.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay, so there's frog safe count. Okay, so that's okay, so that code wasn't running. So okay, so this reloads. That's only for if you've got every frog. Yeah, what I will do is I'm just gonna player position. Just to make things quick and simple, I'm just gonna go player spawn. Or that should be go sub, because we still might want to run this code afterwards. But running player spawn will reset the player position and the hop frames. So I'll just give that a quick go. Oh, thanks for joining the stream, Monoz. We're just about to wrap up ourselves. I just want to give this just want to make sure that last bug is no longer there. What? I thought for sure that would have solved it. Oh, because there's 5 of them. Okay. All right. Okay. So one thing I think we probably should do before we before we release this is we should consolidate these into one function. So the reason why like there's 5 different bits of code here is because we need to identify specifically which one it is. But with newer versions of Scorpion, we've got event tag, so we can just say like this is event tag 1, this is event tag 2, and so on. And so that's a way that we can let specifically let it know which pad we've landed on. I'll give that I'll give that one last check.
So you've nearly nailed it.
Yes, I wanted to end it on a good note. Yep. Okay, perfect. It doesn't automatically hop onto the road when I get to one of the ending frogs. But yeah, so that's yep. So we've taken we've taken your Frogger game. We've fixed the few things that for the new version of Scorpion, and it seems to be it basically seems to be working as expected. So we'll leave this. Sorry, what was that?
Absolute genius.
Thank you so much. And yeah, thanks for Wonderboy, and thanks for donating the Frogger sauce.
Oh, no problem.
Yep, and
you've done the hard work on that one tonight as well. Looks brilliant. Looks absolutely brilliant. Thanks for inviting me on the show. It's pretty good fun.
No worries. Well, I need to. Sorry, I'm just looking in the Twitch interface to find the raid. Okay, let's see who I'm following that we can raid. Well, I think I'll raid. I will raid Charlie Far, who is playing Dungeon Master. Okay, well, thanks for watching, everyone, and hope to see you all again for episode 5 next week. Just about to kick off the raid. Okay, I'll catch us all later.